Longhorn fans. 3 straight lefties here in the first inning against Estroff. Mackenzie Parker, the shortstop, is on deck with the leadoff runner on. 2-0 pitch from Estroff. It is on the inside edge for a strike. Mary Iacopo bats cleanup. She's the designated player with right fielder Jordan Whitaker due up 5th. Lauren Burke, the center fielder, is in the 6th hole with Courtney Day batting 7th at first base. The catcher J.J. Smith is in the 8th hole with Brianna Cantu rounding it out at 3rd. 2-1 from Estroff is bunted back towards the circle, backhanded by Estroff, and makes the throw on target for the out. 1-3 on the sacrifice, moving Jefferson to 2nd. So Texas, after beating Clemson 4-0, has got to feel pretty confident going into this game because last night Clemson beat FGCU 11-0. That was a game that was competitive for a while. It was 3-0 in the 4th inning. And then Clemson exploded against the FGCU bullpen. That one's fouled back for strike 1. But now with no more doubleheaders on the docket this weekend, FGCU can stack their best pitchers, and Estroff might be their best pitcher. Of course, all 3 of their starters are still trying to sort out the pecking order. All 3 of them, either didn't pitch or barely pitched for FGCU last year. They've got 2 transfers and then the lone returner Estroff. But the other 2, Oaks in center field, and Hume, the JUCO transfer, could also pitch in this game. That one's high for ball 2. Hume got the win in her first college outing against LIU yesterday. And then Oaks kept Clemson in check. We mentioned it was only 3-0 in the 4th inning. That's when they took Oaks out of the game, and then the bullpen surrendered the other 7 or 8 runs. 2-1 is fouled off the glove of the catcher. Maybe not. Jefferson's going to head down to 3rd, and no argument from Peterson. That was just a muff, so a pass ball advancing Jefferson to 3rd. It is strike 2 on Parker, who chased that pitch high. So any sort of ball in play would likely score a run for Texas, as that one misses away. A full count now on the Longhorns' 3-hitter. Parker, one of 5 Longhorn hitters in the lineup tonight, ranked in the top 110 in the country in terms of individual position players. 3-2 is off the plate away, and there is another walk. Estroff has now walked 5 batters in 2 2/3 innings on the season.
Designated player number 33, Mary.
And here is Iacopo. The walks late in the game last night against Clemson came back to bite FGCU. It was not Estroff giving them up, but they did hurt. Here's the pitch, as that one's in for a strike. Iacopo, one of those 5 position players in the top 110 in the country. That's according to both D1 Softball and Softball America. So while they're piecing together their pitching staff with some transfers, as this one is crushed foul deep to left field and towards that FGCU baseball field on the 3rd base side, strike 2. The lineup is very consistent. They return about 70% of the production from last year. It's about the average when you add up all the different categories. Here's the 0-2, and it just missed away. A good spot there from Estroff. 8 of their top 11 hitters returned from last year's team. They did lose Taylor Ellsworth and Shannon Rhodes, a couple of players who really put up some impressive numbers. That one's looped out to center. It's going to fall for a hit, and Texas has taken the lead here in the 1st. Iacopo drives in Jefferson, and it's 1-0. Parker goes to 2nd base, and there's still only 1 out in the inning for Jordan Whitaker.
Right fielder, number 5, Jordan Whitaker.
Texas winning game 1 despite picking up just 6 hits in that game as the off-speed pitch misses low. Whitaker was hit by a pitch in game 1, 0 for 1 officially, the 1-0. And it's in for a strike. But Haley Dulcini was the story in game 1 for Texas, a complete game shutout against a ranked team. That one is cranked foul. That one is actually going to end up in the baseball field next door. That'll end up in right field as she was way out in front, strike 2. But Texas also has a couple of high-profile transfers in Logan Hulon from Houston and Estelle Check from NC State. Both of them over 70 innings last year at their respective schools. But Dulcini is the headliner, a 1.12 ERA last year for Fresno State. That one's low, 2-2. And then, as we mentioned, O'Leary, who is starting this game for Texas, is the top returner. She was number 1 on the team in innings last year with 161 innings and a 1.82 ERA. The 2-2 is ripped foul again, and all these Longhorn hitters seem to be out in front against Estroff. Well, we saw yesterday this FGCU team can really hit, but it is going to be piecemeal in the circle this season. Estroff, the 2-2, is on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. So Estroff gets Whitaker looking, and there's 2 down here in the first.
Center fielder, 0-0, Warren Burke.
FGCU in their 2 games yesterday picked up only 3 strikeouts. 3 strikeouts in 10 innings as Burke takes a strike on the inside corner. Burke also in that top 100. The center fielder awaits an 0-1 and watches at the top of the zone, strike 2. So Estroff starting to find the zone and looking to limit the damage here in the top of the first. The 0-2 coming. Well high, Burke able to take it. The runners ready to go. First and second, 2 outs, the pitch. Lifted foul, Burke able to spoil that one and keep the at-bat going. Clemson will play, Texas will play another doubleheader tomorrow, and then one early game on Sunday before heading back to Texas. Here's the 1-2. Off-speed pitch down and away, Burke able to lay off. They've got a midweek game with McNeese State out in Austin, and then we'll return to the west coast of Florida next weekend for 5 televised games up in Clearwater. Here's the 3-2, and it's lifted down the left field line. Batterton coming in and towards the line will make the catch to end the inning. So Estroff able to work around the walks and allow only 1. Eagles come to bat down by a run when we return here from Fort. A very decorated true freshman year for O'Leary. 97 innings with a 14-3 record and a 0.65 ERA. Had a 1.97 ERA in 2020 before COVID hit. She racked up 49 innings before the shutdown as Batterton takes one away. By the way, McKenna Batterton last night against Valerie Cagle, the Clemson ace, was 2 for 2. And as was Davis on deck, Batterton and Davis accounted for 4 of the 5 hits against Cagle. The 1-0 to Batterton is rolled out to short. Coming in to get it, Parker has to hurry to throw to first and just gets Batterton by half a step. So a couple of ground ball outs, and it's left to Davis here in the first. Last year, O'Leary 16-6 with a 1.82 ERA, 15 complete games, over 120 strikeouts in 161 innings.
Davis.
So for the second night in a row, FGCU facing one of the best pitchers in the nation. As Davis takes one on the inside corner for a strike. Davis has been the leader for FGCU's offense so far this season. 5 for 5 in the doubleheader yesterday with a walk, a double, and 2 RBIs. Having played 4 years in the ACC, and she takes another one on the inside corner, 0-2. Batterton and Davis yesterday between both games reached base in 11 of their 12 plate appearances. O'Leary ready with an 0-2, and it's low for a ball. Abby Thomas waits on deck, the designated player for FGCU. Neely Peterson, the catcher, is in the 5-hole in this one with the pitcher, Emily Estroff, set to bat 6th. O'Leary's 1-2. Lifted in the air towards foul ground, and the catch is made by Smith, the Longhorn backstop. So the Eagles go in order. We'll head to the second with Texas on top, 1-0.
Fans, turn your attention to Eagle Vision for a Black History Month presentation from FGCU softball.
Hi, I'm Tyra Cox and I'm on the women's basketball team. The moment I felt valued as an athlete at FGCU was last February. Our coach, Carl Smisco, pulled us into the hospitality suite after practice and passed out a sheet that included several quotes made from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we went through the list of quotes, and one by one we talked about what each quote meant to us, and we picked out our favorite quote. And we really just talked about the importance of equality and freedom and the importance of what Dr. Martin Luther King did for us.
During February, in recognition of Black History Month, we'll be celebrating the contributions made by athletes of color at each home sporting event. In 1867, an all-black softball team known as the Philadelphia Dolly Gardens became the first professional and fully paid baseball or softball club ever founded. The women on this team over the years earned their living by playing softball until the 1930s. Follow along to learn more.
Bottom third of the order coming up for Mike White's Longhorns. They lead 1-0. This is Courtney Day with the bat facing Estroff, the first baseman. That one's high for a ball. It'll be Day, J.J. Smith, the catcher, and Brianna Cantu, the third baseman. Estroff going to try and settle in, get into a rhythm, and keep this game close after throwing 33 pitches in the first. Here's the 1-0 to the sophomore, and Day takes a strike at the knees. Texas has quite a run going in season openers. The win this afternoon against Clemson makes the Longhorns 26-0 in their season openers. And the win this afternoon was their third season opening win against a ranked team. That one is drilled foul. That's going to leave the stadium, but a good 20 feet to the left of the pole, strike 2. The win this afternoon also extends their February winning streak to 10 games. Looking to get to 11 here tonight. And they knocked the toughest one out of the way right away, having to face number 15 Clemson in their first of 5 games this weekend. Now unranked teams the rest of the weekend, as that one is low, 2-2. They've got 2 games against FGCU and then 1 each against Boston College and Kent State. Kent State picked up a win earlier today against LIU. Here's the 2-2. That one's lined to left pretty deep. Batterton tracing it, and it's over the fence. A low line drive from Courtney Day leaves the ballpark, and Texas extends their lead to 2-0. Boy, off the bat, that looked like it might have been catchable for Batterton, and it just kept sailing out to left. First home run of the season for the Longhorns. Again, over 70 last year, so the first of many they suspect this year. It'll bring up the catcher, J.J. Smith,
Catcher, number 18, J.J.
who was one of only 3 Longhorns to reach base multiple times against Clemson today. J.J. was 1 for 2 of the walk. The pitch is on the outside corner, strike one. Smith, a Texas native with a very open stance. Watch it, one on the outside corner for a strike. That's going to be a pitch she may have some trouble getting to as she is so wide open with her hips. The pitch just barely clips that outside corner. Here's the 0-2, and it's outside. Smith hit .319 last season, only 6 strikeouts in 35 games. The 1-2 pitch, down and away for a ball. In fact, every qualifying hitter for Texas, so those top 11 batters we talked about earlier, all hit over 300. As that one rises high and the count is full. They had 20 players that got at least one at bat last year. Here comes the payoff pitch. And it's on the corner, strike 3. Estroff gets the call, and that's her second strikeout. So Smith goes down looking, and it's going to bring up Cantu. So out of the 20 hitters that grabbed a bat last year for Texas, only 4 of them hit below 250. All 4 of them no longer on the team. So it is a high standard to be in the Longhorns lineup.
Number 4, Brianna Cantu.
Mike Smith, such an experienced head coach, as that one's high for ball 1. Made his name at Oregon before getting the job at Texas. This is his 4th year with the Longhorns. 1-0 is a little bit downstairs. So far with Texas, a record of 114-34. Reaching 2 super regionals. We're still looking for that College World Series berth. The 2-0 is in for a strike. They were 24-3 in that pandemic season. Got to the number 1 ranking in the country before things got shut down. Here comes the 2-1. And it's nubbed to the right side. Estroff will field and flips to first. A little bit high, but Huber able to reach up there and glove it for the second out. So Cantu retired, and it's all left to Jefferson here in the second inning. But White with an .800 winning percentage at Oregon. So he has done nothing but win in his 12 years as a head coach at the D1 level. Jefferson watches on the outside corner for a strike. Estroff is going to continue to try and live there if she can get that corner. And that one just missed. Coach Dero said that with his 3 pitchers this year, he really believes in them for 2 reasons. 1, they throw strikes, and 2, they locate within the strike zone. Here's the 1-1. Outside ball 2. None of the 3 are overpowering. None of the 3 have any trick pitches or 5-pitch mixes. Mostly just a 3-pitch mix for all 3 pitchers, but they locate, they battle, and they don't give up. They don't shoot themselves in the foot, I believe is the term he used. That one's fouled back 2-2. So trust in Estroff, the senior, to go up against the number 10 team in the country. Oaks really handled Clemson pretty well for 3+ innings last night. Estroff trying to finish off the second. That one's looped out towards foul ground. It'll land in on the warning track. No chance for Batterton to get there. But this should bode well for FGCU's future, seeing what top competition in this sport looks like. That one stroked towards second, beyond the reach of Hernandez and into right field. Bobbled by Davis. Jefferson going to try for second. The throw is on the money, and she is safe at second base. Davenport thought she might have gotten Jefferson, but the tag was not in the right place. It'll be a single and an E9 on Davis to allow Jefferson to take second base. So that gives Lou Gilbert a chance to extend the lead, already at 2-0. Just a little bobble by Davis, and Jefferson did not hesitate. With 2 outs, that's a gamble you take every single time.
Number 12, Lou Gilbert.
But also a gamble that a lot of other players would not have cashed in on. Gilbert, a sac bunt, her first time up, looking to swing and takes a strike on the outside corner. So 3 hits and 2 walks now for Texas through their first 10 batters. That one catches the corner, strike 2. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Estroff goes up the ladder and strikes out Gilbert. 3 strikeouts through the first 2 for Emily Estroff. Texas, though, adds a run on the home run by Courtney Day. Eagles looking to get the bats going after this.
Alright, fans, it's 3 Pepper Disney Cat Race. Eagles designated player, number 85.
Looks like Texas is going to start this bottom of the second inning with a change at third base, as Texas turns to number 28. That is Camille Corona, the sophomore from Dripping Springs, Texas. Going to replace Cantu over there. FGCU will have the middle third of the batting order up against Shea O'Leary. FGCU went down on just 8 pitches in the first inning. 2 ground outs and a pop out. So Abby Thomas starts things. Junior from right here in Fort Myers. O'Leary still getting warmed up. Emily Estroff has thrown 55 pitches before O'Leary throws her 9th, as that one misses inside for ball 1. Thomas, when she's fully healthy, figures to be half of the catching tandem for FGCU this year. The 1-0 is on the inside corner, but ruled the ball 2-0. Neely Peterson will catch the bulk of the innings this weekend as Thomas continues to rehab an injury. But good enough to DH this weekend and has been the designated player in all 3 games so far. The 2-0 is low, and it hit her. So Thomas wears one, and FGCU's got their first base runner. It'll bring up the aforementioned Neely Peterson. Peterson, a junior college transfer, really raked last year. playing up in Gainesville as Santa Fe College. Hit .339 with 11 home runs, 35 RBIs. Nobody on FGCU got to 11 home runs last year, so that total would have led the Eagles as that one hits the corner for a strike. Emily Estroff on deck, and then the shortstop Davenport after that. There's a bunt, and it's fouled off. Peterson couldn't get it down, and it's 0-2. So Peterson in her first weekend at the D1 level, having to face Valerie Cagle of Clemson and now O'Leary of Texas. The 0-2 is a little bit low for a ball. O'Leary, 6'2", went to Valencia High School in California, and an applied movement science major at UT. 1-2 is rolled to the left side beyond the reach of a diving Corona and into left field. A base hit for Neely Peterson at FGCU has the table set. First and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Peterson got just enough on that ground ball to sneak it past Corona. And now Emily Estroff can help herself. Now Estroff is going to bat right-handed, and we've talked about this throughout this weekend, that she bats right-handed and left-handed, but you can't even really call her a switch hitter because she'll do both against righties and lefties. There's a bunt pushed in the air, foul, and the catch is not made as two Longhorns collide over at first. I mean, she switch hits, but she doesn't do it the conventional way, batting lefty against righties and righties against lefty. She's only faced righties this season, and this is her second or third time batting right-handed. The rest of the time she's been left-handed. So not sure exactly what goes into it. But against O'Leary, she's going to bat right-handed with runners at first and second and nobody out. Corners are in, expecting another bunt attempt here. The 0-1 is down and in for a ball, 1-1. Estroff hit over 300 last year. One of three Eagles returning hitters to bat over 300. They've got a couple transfers who did that as well. The 1-1 bunt is fouled off. Got a good piece of it, but too far towards that Texas dugout, and now it's 1-2. So what do you do now if you're Coach DeRose? You've got Davenport on deck, and then the 8 and 9 spots due up after that. And the opportunities against pitchers like O'Leary do not come around very often, so you've got to take advantage when something like this occurs. The 1-2 is low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So first trouble spot of the season for Shea O'Leary. He's going to face a bunch of top competition throughout the year. Here comes the 2-2. And it's drilled down the right field line. That is a fair ball into the corner. Digging it out is Whitaker. They're going to send the lead runner. They're going to send the second runner as well. It's a 2-1 triple for Emily Estroff. And FGCU has tied up the number 10 team in the country. Oh, Whitaker tried to cut it off right on top of that right field line. It stayed fair and went all the way into the corner. Both runners had to see the ball down, so they got a late start, but had enough speed to get around the bases as Peterson went first to home to tie the game at 2.
Number 1, Reed Davenport.
So a 2 RBI triple for Emily Estroff, the pitcher. Davenport slices one foul, a good cut there against O'Leary. So the Eagles already with more runs against number 10 Texas than they had all of last night against number 15 Clemson. But we know this team can hit. They did have 5 hits against Valerie Cagle in 5 innings and put up double digits in the first game of the season against LIU. 1-1 now on Davenport. O'Leary fires. That one smoked down the line. That's a fair ball. Rolling into the left field corner. In the score is Estroff. Heading for second is Davenport. It's an RBI double for the Eagles senior. And FGCU has taken the lead on Texas. That was a frozen rope down the third base line. No chance for Corona to get the glove up. As Davenport delivers, and we've got a visit from head coach Mike White. So an explosion here in the second for FGCU. 3 consecutive base hits from the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, and now Hope Hernandez has a chance to add on. Hernandez, a graduate student, started 35 games last year for FGCU. Hit .262. Runner on second, still nobody out in the inning. First pitch, a bunt, stabbed at and fouled back 0-1. The Eagles have not needed any bunts to put up 3 here in the second. But Coach DeRose trying to make something happen. Hope can run a little bit, and a lot of trust in Jordan Gendron, who has come into the on-deck circle to potentially pinch hit for Amaya Gaynor. Another bunt is put down, and it's fouled back again, strike 2. So Eagles unable to get any bunts down against O'Leary. But all kinds of life now infused into that third base dugout. FGCU has the lead here in the second. The 0-2 is chopped to the right side. That'll move the runner. Jefferson fields and flips to first. Hernandez clapping her hands, knowing she got her job done. Didn't get the bunt down, but still advances the runner. So that's the first out here in the second inning, as Jordan Gendron comes to the plate to pinch hit for Amaya Gaynor. So likely that Gaynor will re-enter, but boy, does Coach DeRose love to use Gendron in the biggest of spots. In the game against LIU, FGCU trailed 4-0, came back to win by the mercy rule, and brought in Gendron in a bases-loaded 2-out situation, and she crushed a 2-run double to really decide that game. And looking for some more thump off the bench here. Gendron, the junior, is ready to go against O'Leary. First pitch to Gendron is drilled to deep left field. Will it stay fair? No. Just to the left of the pole. That ball left the yard, but foul by inches. Boy, the momentum has firmly switched sides here in this bottom of the second. FGCU's dugout was in the process of becoming unglued before they saw that ball hook foul. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Gendron out in front, strike 2. Coach DeRose says, take a breath. You've got Oaks, the leadoff hitter, on deck. One out, runner on third. The 0-2 is up and away, and it gets away. Here comes the runner. The flip of the tag is too late. Rudy Davenport scores, and FGCU adds on another run to make it 4-2. So the wild pitch by O'Leary brings home the run. So all 4 runs in the inning earned against O'Leary. And now the base is clear for Gendron. She can take her hacks freely. The 1-2 is fouled back. Another good rip. Again, O'Leary last season a 1.82 ERA. At the sport's highest level, 161 innings of work, and has given up a 4 spot here to FGCU. The 1-2 is reached for, and Gendron just barely gets a piece at the end of the bat.
The dance goes silly, the niggas gon' feel it, the fellas in the back, and they twistin' up a fella. It's silly, it's silly, it's silly, it's silly.
O'Leary looking for her first strikeout of the season. She fires another 1-2, and Gendron loops it out to shallow center. Back a couple steps, Jefferson, and the second baseman gloves it for out number 2. So that'll flip the lineup card over for Riley Oaks, the center fielder. Again, if O'Leary doesn't go the distance in this one, Texas will likely be turning to a transfer to make their first college or first Texas appearance. Again, Hulon and Czech are also in the mix, transferring from Houston and NC State respectively. That one's up and in for a ball. You also have the freshman Sophia Simpson available. So we'll see where Texas goes if O'Leary doesn't go the whole way here. 1-0, the pitch to Oaks. That one sliced down the left field line and foul, out of play, 1-1. O'Leary ready with a 1-1. Down and away, ball 2. Oh, there's no question FGCU's bats are believing right now. And no longer going to be fazed or intimidated by O'Leary after putting up 4 here in the second. The 2-1. Sliced foul for strike 2. O'Leary now up to 28 pitches in this inning. Oaks, the Radford transfer, battling. The 2-2 is foul tipped into the glove of Smith to end the inning. So O'Leary finally gets her first strikeout, but not before FGCU rallies for 4 runs. 4 runs on 3 hits. Nobody left. We'll head to the third. The Eagles have a 4-2 lead on the 10th ranked team in the country.
Get up and sing along to the FGCU fight song.
Up Iacopo. Iacopo drove in the first Texas run with an RBI base hit.
Number 33, Mary Iacopo.
And she takes one away for a ball, 1-0. Iacopo 0 for 3 in the first game today. Did score a run in the win over Clemson. The 1-0 is on the corner for a strike, 1-1. One of the beauties of this event here this weekend is getting games against a bunch of different teams. It's not a typical 3 or 4 game series. FGCU going to play 4 different teams this weekend, and the same for Texas. 1-1 is up and away for ball 2. You've got 2 nationally ranked teams, another Power 5 team in Boston College, and then 3 mid-majors, all of whom are outstanding. We talked about LIU, who was 0-3 this weekend, but they were 25-7 last year. That one sails high for ball 3. Kent State able to knock them off earlier today. And hung around against Clemson, as the Eagles did last night. The 3-1 from Estroff is rolled out to third. Gendron is in there and makes the play. Gendron, known for her bat, has been kept in the game at third base for Gaynor to try and get her one more at bat. And she makes the play there to retire Iacopo. So now Whitaker with 2 outs and the bases clear. This would be huge for Estroff if she can hang a 0 and maintain the lead. Whitaker takes one downstairs for a ball. Estroff already up over 60 pitches in this one, but working with a lead for the first time. The 1-0 is up and away, ball 2. Lauren Burke on deck, hoping for a chance if Whitaker can get on. The 2-0 pitch is rolled out to short. Routine for Davenport, who scoops it up and fires over to Huber to end the inning. That is a 1-2-3 inning for Emily Estroff, who rolls 3 straight ground balls. We head to the bottom of the third. It's FGCU 4 and Texas 2.
Alright, fans, our interns are up in the stands, and it is time for the air guitar challenge. Here we go. We have Odie and we have Maya. Alrighty, you're going to have 30 seconds to rock out, then the fans will pick the winner. Here we go. Oh my goodness, we are spinning! Alrighty, it's time to vote. Here we go. In the red shirt, Odie, give it up for Odie. In the black shirt, give it up for Maya. Oh my goodness, well, a resounding Odie, you are our champion this evening. Give it up for our breakthroughs in the air guitar challenge. Pitching for Texas, number 22, Estelle Check.
Bottom of inning number 3 here at the FGCU softball complex, and Eagles looking to add to their lead against a new pitcher. Making her Texas debut is left-hander Estelle Check, a sophomore from Downers Grove, Illinois. Check spent last season with the NC State Wolfpack. Lefty-lefty matchup as she deals with Batterton, and McKenna Batterton takes one down and in. Last year, Check racked up 73 2/3 innings, a 3.14 ERA. Through all 13 innings in the ACC tournament for NC State. So she was their number 1 pitcher at the end of the year. The 1-0 is drilled on the ground to short, handled though by Parker, and the throw is low and it gets away. Batterton will head to second, and the Eagles get another runner into scoring position. Well, Parker kind of snow-coned that ball as it came up high at the end and clearly did not have a good grip on the ball, and the E6 sets up another opportunity for the Eagles. Hannah Davis coming up, who had 5 hits yesterday. Now, one thing playing in FGCU's favor here, Czech is not a strikeout pitcher. Only 39 strikeouts in those 73 innings last year for NC State. And obviously the ERA a full point higher than O'Leary's. That one's hit towards third, off the body of Corona and rolling towards left field. Batterton will stay put at second, but another error on the Texas infield allows Davis to reach. So an E6 and an E5 have set the table for Abby Thomas.
Number 25.
Thomas started the rally in the second, getting hit by a pitch. And then the next 3 batters all drilled base hits. Czech's first offering is a bunt that's pulled back. I mean, Czech transferring to Texas, knowing she's going to be on one of the best staffs in the country. And in her first appearance as the defense making mistakes behind her, and now we'll have to pick up her teammates. The 1-0 pitch. A bunt popped up foul. That's going to land foul as Day couldn't reach it. 1-1. Czech got some experience against some of the top teams in the country last year for NC State. Went 6 innings against Florida State, 6 2/3 against LSU when they were nationally ranked. So she's faced some of the better teams in the country. 1-1. Catches the outer half, strike 2 on Thomas. Coming out of high school, Czech was one of the top 50 recruits in the country. The number 22 overall pitcher. And was all the way up in Illinois. Here comes the 1-2. And it's foul back. Thomas getting a piece of a good pitch. So well-traveled is Czech. Only a sophomore in college and has lived in Illinois, North Carolina, and now Texas. Thomas battling here. Awaiting another 1-2 from Czech. And she got her. Czech goes up the ladder and strikes out Thomas for the first out of the inning.
Number 8, Neely Peterson.
So her first Longhorn strikeout there. And now Peterson comes to the plate. And the off-speed pitch in for a strike. Peterson started the 3 consecutive hits in the second inning. She singled before the big swing from Estroff. First and second for FGCU. The pitch. At the knee, strike 2, and Czech looks locked in here in her first inning. Corona and Day guarding the lines, which is where FGCU went for their 2 extra base hits in the second. The pitch is drilled to left field, a base hit. Gilbert over to cut it off. They're going to hold the lead runner Batterton, and FGCU's got the bases loaded here in the third. Peterson is 2 for 2. So now it's Estroff who drove in the first 2 runs. We mentioned earlier how Estroff has batted both left and right-handed this weekend. Now facing a left-handed pitcher for the first time. Of course will bat right-handed after she drilled the triple right-handed. That one's hit towards the middle. A base hit. Batterton is in. It's bobbled in center field by Burke, and everybody moves up a base. An RBI base hit for Emily Estroff. Her third run batted in already in this game. And FGCU extends their lead to 5-2. So the errors come back to hurt Texas, and they are far from out of the woods. Peterson and Estroff now 2 for 2. So Davenport, who ripped the double down the left field line in the second, comes up with the bases loaded in the third. First pitch is slashed foul a little bit late, strike one. Hernandez on deck, and then Gendron. As Smith goes to the circle to try and make sure Check is under control here. She was very fired up after the strikeout to Thomas, but is now allowed back-to-back base hits. Davenport ready, now the pitch. Just missed outside, 1-1. Check ready, now the pitch. And it's looped towards the circle. Off the glove of Check. It's a fair ball and everybody's safe. Another run comes in. Everything going the Eagles' way. Check got the very end of the leather on the ball, and it spun even further into foul ground after she touched it in fair territory. I think that's going to have to be an RBI infield single. And so Davenport has 2 RBIs. And it's 6-2 FGCU. Hernandez with a chance to add on. That one's low, ball 1. So that ball went all of 30 feet in the air, and it ends up as an RBI base hit. The 1-0 to Hernandez. Down and away, ball 2. There's nowhere to put her. Gendron on deck can really swing it. And so Check has got to come after Hernandez here. Peterson at third, Estroff at second, Davenport at first, all of them with singles in this inning against Check. There's the 2-0, and it's on the inside corner, strike 1. Hernandez, an experienced hitter in her 5th year of college. Eagles, the champions of their division in the regular season last year. 27-18 record overall. The 2-1 is hit towards third. Corona fields it on a bounce. Fires to first for the double play. Texas able to get out of the bases loaded 1-out jam on a good play by Corona at third. John Vitas welcoming you back to Fort Myers as Lauren Burke leads it off against Emily Estroff, who is retired 4 in a row after giving up a couple of early runs. The Eagles have extended their lead to 6-2, but Texas with a huge double play to get out of that bases loaded 1-out jam to end the third. That really does keep the Longhorns in this game with 4 innings left to work with as Burke shoots one foul. Strike 1. Regardless of what happens the rest of the way for FGCU, this would obviously be a signature win if they can pull it off. The 0-1 is on the corner for a strike. Estroff is located better and better as this game has gone along. Burke, a native of Oregon's, which of course is where Coach White made a name for himself. That one rises high for ball one. We didn't mention it earlier when we talked about Coach White's background, but he is from the country of New Zealand, but has made a name for himself here in the States with more than a decade as a D1 head coach. 1-2 is hit on the ground to second. Hernandez is able to field on a couple of hops and flips over to first for the out. That's 4 consecutive ground ball outs and 5 consecutive outs overall for Estroff. And now it's Courtney Day who lined a home run over the left field fence in her first at-bat. First pitch from Emily is low for ball one. Estroff tossed 55 pitches in the first 2 innings, but needed only 10 pitches to put down the Longhorns in order in the third. 1-0 is looped in the air, foul. Hubert over for a look, but that's strike 2. Or sorry, strike 1 rather. The righty fires, and that one's looped out to right. Could be trouble. Hernandez racing out, makes the catch. A running two-handed grab for Hope Hernandez to rob Courtney Day. So Hernandez makes both plays here in the fourth, and J.J. Smith is the last chance for Texas.
Number 18, J.J. Smith.
As that one bends down and away for ball one. Outfield deep with 2 outs and nobody on. Same for the infield as well. Smith, an excellent hitter. Here's the 1-0. And it's in there for a strike. Estroff is continuing to find the location with all of her pitches. Here's the pitch. Drilled out to deep left center field. Going back is Batterton, and she's got room. Batterton makes the catch on the warning track, and Emily Estroff has put down 7 consecutive Longhorns. Halfway home. We welcome you back to the campus of Florida Gulf Coast University, the host of this terrific tournament here this weekend. FGCU will host another tournament next weekend before hitting the road. Jordan Gendron leads it off against the left-hander Estelle Check. Check allowed 2 unearned runs in the third inning as FGCU has taken a 6-2 lead. First pitch taken for a strike. Eagles got 4 in the second and then 2 more in the third because of those 2 errors by the Texas infield. Although Corona did make up for it with a nice double play to save at least a run. Here's the 0-1. Gendron takes low for a ball. Looks like they're feeding her a bunch of off-speed stuff after she crushed a long foul ball against O'Leary in the second that missed being a 3-run homer by a matter of inches. Check has the sign. Now the 1-1. Upstairs, ball 2. Gendron had a similar role last year. A lot of at-bats off the bench. Here's the 2-1. And it's in for a strike. Gendron had 29 at-bats despite making only 10 starts. Check ready with the 2-2. And it's low, a full count now. You can hear the yells from Check as she follows through on the pitch. Really tried to fire up Smith and her teammates after the strikeout of Thomas, but it went south from there in that third inning. Full count here on Gendron. The 3-2 is ripped past third. Coach DeRose tried to make the stab, but they'll do it again. FGCU last year with only 11 home runs for the season. Gendron had one of them. We saw earlier she's got some pop. Check ready, another 3-2. It is lifted to left, pretty deep, but Gilbert should have room. Pulls up in front of the warning track and makes the grab. So Gendron with a high fly out to left, and there's one away here in the home fourth. So now Riley Oakes with the bases empty.
Riley Oakes.
Oakes, the starting pitcher in last night's game against Clemson, back in her usual center field spot tonight. Left on left matchup, and she skies one to left. Coming in is Gilbert this time, and Gilbert makes another grab to record out number 2. So Batterton, the last chance for the Eagles. Reached on the error and scored in the previous frame. 0 for 2. Batterton was the Eagles' second leading hitter last year, batted .324 with more walks than strikeouts. And takes one down the middle for a strike. Despite the 0 for 2 tonight, Batterton still 4 for 7 for the season. Here's the 0-1, and it's well high for a ball. But when Check leans into it, she can really bring it in terms of the velocity. FGCU had no trouble with O'Leary's velocity because she throws hard as well. But a different look here with the lefty in the circle. 1-1 is up and away, ball 2. Eagles faced 4 different pitchers in the doubleheader yesterday, all of them right-handed. So this is their first look against a lefty this year. Here's the 2-1. And it's on the corner. Good pitch to even up the count, 2-2. Batterton looking to prolong the inning through Kana Davis, who waits on deck. The pitch, low, a full count now. Full count again in this 4th inning. The payoff is reached for and looped out to shallow center. Burke racing in, drops the ball. The shortstop Parker got in her way at the last second, and it popped out of Burke's glove. So that'll bring up Kana Davis. That'll go down as a base hit for McKenna Batterton, as Burke was on the run there. Davis, like Brad Batterton, reached on an error and scored in the last inning. That one down the middle for a strike. But Coach DeRose has this team ready to go against a couple of ranked opponents this weekend. He's been the only coach in this program's history, going back to the early 2000s when FGCU started their athletics programs, as Davis rolls one through the hole. That's in the right field for a base hit. Back-to-back two-out singles for FGCU. And the 6th hit in 3 games this year for Kana Davis. So Thomas will have a chance to add on to this 6-2 lead, as Davis is going to be pinch run for. That is Avery Villancos coming in to run for Davis. Villancos is an outfielder, so she may stay in after this pinch running appearance.
Now that is number 25, Abby Thomas.
And Thomas at the plate with 2 outs and 2 on. Check comes home, and that one catches the knees for strike 1. The Eagles now out hitting Texas 8-3 in this game. Even more lopsided than the runs column. Here comes the 0-1. Thomas fouls one back. That was an off-speed pitch, but she had it timed up, but is now in an 0-2 hole. Thomas went 2 for 4 with a walk in the doubleheader yesterday. 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch in this game. Estelle Check with an 0-2. That one's rolled out to short. Parker charges, fields, and fires on to first to end the inning. So Check surrenders a couple more hits, but puts up a 0 as we head to the 5th here in Fort Myers. FGCU leading by 4.
Coach develops a winning game plan, provides guidance and discipline that leads you to success. Same is true with your personal finances, right, Al?
Absolutely. As Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional, I go beyond typical financial planning. I help you understand how markets work and develop a strategic financial plan to meet your goals. Do you have the right financial game plan?
If you are not 100% sure, give Alfie a call today.
Eagle fans, get your newly designed FGCU license plate at fgcu.edu/license plate. Proceeds benefit the FGCU Scholarship Fund.
Do you ever feel like a possible drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel just a paper thin, like a house of cards, no completing in? Do you ever feel already very deep, just behind the screen, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know there's still a chance for you? There's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, recognize the light. Stand up, give it your way.
Top of the 5th inning here in Fort Myers. John Vitas along with you on this Friday night. Emily Estroff is in a rhythm. There's a bunt trying to get her out of the rhythm. The throw to first is not in time. Close play, but Corona beats it out for an infield single. So Texas does get something going here to start the 5th. Coach DeRose wants to know if there was a bobble, and the first base umpire says yes. That is Melvin Clark, the first base umpire. Daryl Sanders calling the balls and strikes in this one, and John Schaefer over at third base. Jefferson takes one outside. So at the top of the order up here for Texas, 3 straight lefties are on their way up. And so this becomes a very important frame for Estroff. The 1-0 is on the corner, strike 1. Gilbert on deck, and then Parker. These top 4 hitters in the lineup for Texas, all in the top 110 in the country in terms of ranked position players. That one's up and away, ball 2. So Estroff having to go through that tough part of the order for the 3rd time tonight. Gotta wonder if Coach DeRose has had Oaks or Hulme warming up when the Eagles were batting. 2-1 is on the corner, strike 2. Hulme got the win yesterday over LIU. It is a pitcher only, so she can warm up while Estroff is in the circle. The other top pitcher for the Eagles, Oaks, is in center field. The 2-2 is lifted foul off the left side as Jefferson stays alive. Now, Oaks did bat in that bottom of the 4th, so if she did warm up, didn't have a ton of time to do it. Here comes the 2-2, and it's rolled towards the middle. Hernandez is there, bobbles, and has no play. Texas with 2 runners on to start the inning. And the speed of Jefferson getting in the head of Hernandez, who just barely bobbled that ball, and that extra beat was all Texas needed for both runners to advance. That's an E4 on Hernandez. Since there was a bobble, you generally can't give an error for slow play. That one's on the outside corner, but called a ball. But that ball did pop out of her glove, and that was all she wrote on that play. 1-0 now on the lefty Gilbert, who can really swing it. Texas with 9 outs to play with, and something brewing here in the 5th. The 1-0 from Estroff. Down and away, and called a strike that time. Estroff fires. It's a bunt, third base side, and a good one. Gendron has to hurry, and she makes the play. Great throw by Jordan Gendron across her body to retire Gilbert for the first out of the inning. So Gilbert, the Baylor transfer, will get credit for a sacrifice to move the runners to 2nd and 3rd. And Parker here could cut the deficit in half with a base hit. That one's looped foul in between the lead runner, Corona, and the head coach, Mike White. Estroff delivers, and it's outside, ball 1. The pitch to Parker, grounded foul again towards that third base side, strike 2. Estroff closing in on 90 pitches here in the 5th. Looking to keep this nationally ranked lineup in check. Mixing speeds, hitting spots. Trying to get out of a big jam here. The 1-2. Down and away, and the count even, with Iacopo due up next. Estroff delivers, and it's fouled back. Parker slicing one to the screen. Estroff has 3 strikeouts in this game, but all 3 came in the first 3 innings. She was at her best in the 3rd and 4th, pitching to contact. The 2-2. outside, a full count now. Of course, contact here would likely mean a run or two for Texas. Estroff the deep breath and a huge pitch. Drilled down the left field line, but hooking foul. Batterton was over for it, but couldn't get there. So Parker gets another chance, about to see the 8th pitch of the at-bat here. And the 16th pitch overall tonight against Estroff. So she has seen plenty of Emily Estroff, who is unloading the kitchen sink here in the 5th. Another 3-2, and it's high, ball 4. Outstanding at bat from Parker, and the tying run comes to the plate in Mary Iacopo. Coach DeRose looking out towards the field, may have been looking out at center field to see if Oakes was ready. It looked like he might have been talking to Davenport a little bit as well, but this is the part of the game where a coach's decision-making could make the difference. How long do you stick with Estroff, and who do you bring in if you take her out? That one skied out to deep center field. Back towards the fences. Oakes at the wall. It's off her glove. It lands in safely. Jefferson gets the wave. The throw to the plate is cut off. Estroff will run the runner back to second. Spikes it into center field, but backed up well by Viancos. 2-run score on the error by Riley Oakes, and it's 6-4. But more importantly, still only 1 out in the inning. That should have been a sac fly. Instead, it's an error that yields 2 runs. So after the Texas errors led to 2 Eagles runs earlier, FGCU returns the favor as Oakes, who was on the warning track, had that ball in her glove and it just popped out. Coach DeRose to the mound to discuss things. Trying to settle that infield down. Hernandez had the error earlier, so another 0-2 coming from the left-hander. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Peterson underneath it, and Check collects her second strikeout. So now Estroff comes to the plate. Has driven in 3 of the 6 Florida Gulf Coast runs. The first pitch is low, ball 1. That's a confident take from Estroff, who clearly is locked in and focused. Check ready with a 1-0. And that one drops in to even up the count. This is turning into one of the best games of the tournament so far. We had a 1-run game earlier in the day today between LIU and Kent State, but most of the other games have either been lopsided or shutouts. Texas shut out Clemson earlier today, so they are 1-0. Here's the pitch, and it's on the outside corner, strike 2. This is the first appearance as a Longhorn for Estelle Check. Transfer from NC State. Here's the pitch, and it's a little low. Estroff draws the count even. All right, Daryl Sanders has had an outstanding strike zone in this game. A lot of pitches right on that outside edge from both sides, and he's been very consistent. Almost no complaints from either side. The 2-2. Swing and a foul tip. Estroff barely got a piece on that pitch bearing in. And the at-bat continues. Check ready and delivers a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch bearing away on Estroff. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for the southpaw. You're starting to feel Texas sees the momentum back with a 2-run inning to start the fifth, and now dominant pitching from Check. Davenport the last chance for FGCU in this home fifth. And a big decision for Coach DeRose of FGCU. As that one misses high. Does he stick with Estroff? Does he go to somebody else? And if so, when? Longhorns have 6, 7, and 8 in the order due up in the 6th. Estroff or whoever's out there for the 7th would have to deal with the top of the Texas order. 1-0 is on the inside edge for a strike. Davenport in a 1-1 count awaits the pitch. And takes at the knees. Close pitch, strike 2. Check gave up 2 runs in the 3rd. Put up a 0 in the 4th. Looking for another goose egg here in the 5th. The pitch is looped foul towards the Eagles' dugout into the netting. No chance for J.J. Smith. Check ready to go, trying to put away the Eagle shortstop. That one up and in as Davenport limbos out of the way to make it 2-2. And that one's pulled foul. Davenport out in front, but able to stay alive. Davenport putting up a fight here with 2 outs in the 5th. Check comes home, and it's low. The count goes full. You've got Hernandez on deck with FGCU in front. Davenport's been a fixture in the lineup for 4 years now for FGCU. Reaches for it, grounds it to Corona, who scoops it up and fires across the infield to end the inning. So it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th for Estelle Check. We head to the 6th inning. It's FGCU 6 and Texas 4. You're watching FGCU softball.
Congratulations again to today's Lucky Row, Section A, Row 4. Everyone, support Albert. It's delicious.
And yes, you'll get tapped if you're looking home. I said, excuse me, you're a hell of a guy. I mean, open my body like elegant fly. I mean, he's so shy, and I'm loving his talking like sugar in the guy with a big on the eye. Yes, I did. Somebody please tell me the F.I.A. I am Nicki Minaj, I'm Nathan Luca. That coops up and drop the user. You just gotta give me that look. When you give me that look, then it takes me out. Excuse me, you're a hell of a guy. You know I really gotta think.
John Vitas, happy to have you along tonight from the FGCU softball complex. Lauren Burke will lead it off for UT here in the 6th inning. Emily Estroff back to the circle. That one's rolled to second. Hernandez has it, and that's out number 1. Huge sigh of relief for Estroff and the Eagles. 1 pitch and 1 out to start inning number 6. Hernandez, who committed an error in the previous inning, makes the play there. And now it'll be Courtney Day, who has a home run in this game. First pitch from Estroff is outside, ball 1. Coach Dero sticking with the pitcher who got his team to this point. Estroff has been in there throughout, looking for one of the biggest wins in her college career, the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. You've got J.J. Smith due up next, and then the third baseman, Camille Corona, if anybody reaches base. After that, it's the top of the order. So Jefferson and Gilbert guaranteed at least one more at-bat for Texas. 2-0. It is drilled to the gap in left center field. That's an extra base hit rolling all the way to the fence. Oakes digs it out, but not before Day cruises into second base with a 1-out double. So the tying run to the plate in J.J. Smith. Texas going to run for Day. Or check that. That's Day coming back in after giving up the equipment. So Day at second, Smith at the plate as the tying run. Corners come in a bit. First pitch to the catcher is low for ball 1. Estroff going to be careful with these high-powered Longhorn hitters, but he can't really afford to give up any more base runners in what has become a really tight game here in the 6th inning. The 1-0 is low again, ball 2. Davenport comes in to chat with her fellow senior. The next pitch from Emily Estroff will be number 100 of the night. The 2-0. Low again, ball 3. Staying away from J.J. Smith, who drove a ball to the warning track in her last at-bat. And if you're Texas, you got to consider giving her the green light here on 3-0. Here's the pitch. Pulls a bunt back and takes downstairs for ball 4. And now the tying run is on base with only 1 out. Corona going to come to the plate. Before she does, Mike White going to have a word. Again, the 2 likely relief options here are Oakes in center field and Allie Hulme, who is a junior college transfer. Got the win over LIU yesterday, but it'll be quite a situation to put her in her first year at the Division I level.
Number 28.
There's no doubt they've got a ton of faith in Emily Estroff, who has been tough all night long. First pitch to Corona is grounded back to the circle. Estroff goes to third with it, and they get the lead out. That'll be 1-5 on the fielder's choice, erasing Day. And now with 2 outs, Janae Jefferson, one of the top hitters in the country, comes to the plate. That was a big out, but this next one is even bigger. We mentioned it earlier, Jefferson hit .446 last year and has been on base in all 3 of her plate appearances in this game. Watches the first one low. Here's the pitch home. Up high that time, 2-0. Jefferson had 2 hits and a walk in game 1. Officially, she's been on base in 5 of her 7 plate appearances already this year. That one is on the corner, strike 1. Base hit would likely score a run, but it would also likely take an extra base hit to tie the game. 2 outs, Estrop delivers. And it's lifted down the left field line. That's going to hook foul. Batterton gives it a good dive, but it's beyond her reach. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. You almost feel like if Jefferson puts it in play here, the fortune of this ball may determine the ball game. If it finds a glove, the Eagles are in control. If it doesn't, Texas is well on the comeback trail. Estroff set, the deep breath, and the 2-2 to Janae Jefferson. Lifted down the line. Batterton coming over, and she makes a running catch. McKenna Batterton positioned well. Game for FGCU because they had the bases loaded with 1 out, and we're already up 6-2. And the bunt is missed. That's strike 1. So that's the moment where even if Hernandez had only grounded into a fielder's choice, it would have made it 7-2. And obviously, if she picked up a base hit, this could have become a blowout pretty quickly. But instead, it's just a 2-run game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-1 to Hernandez is lifted foul, got jammed. That's strike 2. FGCU split their doubleheader yesterday on opening day. Came from behind, erased a 4-run deficit to Mercy Rule LIU. And then against Clemson, hung in for a while, but eventually lost 11-0. Both of those games lasted only 5 innings. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Check goes up the ladder, and Hernandez chases. That's strikeout number 4 for Estelle Check. We mentioned at the beginning that she's not a strikeout pitcher. Less than 4 Ks per 7 last season with NC State, but is changing her style here tonight. So Gendron to the plate. A couple of outs in the air from her, but also crushed that foul ball that just slipped foul past the left field pole. The pitch is rolled towards third, beyond the reach of Corona and into left field. So Gendron picks up the base hit, and FGCU's got a base runner here in the 6th. And it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter here, as number 18, Riley Topliff, is going to hit for Oaks. So Topliff in off the bench. Maybe to lay one down and try and set the table for Batterton. We're going to get a pinch runner as well, as Amaya Gaynor is going to return for Gendron. So Gendron, who had come in off the bench for Gaynor, wound up playing most of the game. Got all 3 at-bats in that 9-hole. But Gaynor now is back in to run, and then will probably stay in the game to play third base. So just the 2nd at-bat of the season for Topliff, who got 1 at-bat yesterday. Sophomore from right here in Fort Myers. Looking to swing, and she crushes one out to pretty deep center. Burke has a beat on it, though, and runs it down at the edge of the track. So Topliff able to square one up, cold off the bench, but it ends up as out number 2. So it's left to Batterton here in the 6th. McKenna just made that great running catch in the corner to keep the game at 6-4. If she had not made the grab, it would have scored at least one Texas run. Could have also possibly tied the game. Trying to make her presence felt at the plate now. And she hammers one out to center, but playable for Burke, who is there in straightaway center field to make the grab and end the inning. So Check works around the Gendron single, and Texas comes to the plate down 2 in the 7th when we come back. FGCU looking to knock the game at 109 pitches, allowing 4 runs, 3 earned over 6 innings. She struck out 3, worked around 4 walks, and is in line for the win. She will give way to Riley Oakes, the Radford transfer, who has played the first 6 innings of this game in center field. First pitch from Oakes to Gilbert is outside or maybe low, ball 1. Avery Villancos, who came in to play right field for Kana Davis earlier, has shifted over to play center field now. So you've got a true freshman in center field. And Ashley Hayes is now in right field, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Gilbert chasing up and out of the zone, 1-1. Emily Estroff, the starting pitcher, is now playing second base. So Hayes is in for Hernandez. Hernandez now out of the game. The 1-1 pitch is bunted, and Oakes makes the catch. Able to pin it to her stomach. Riley Oakes uses 2 hands to record out number 1. It'll bring up Mackenzie Parker, the shortstop. Not sure what the discussion is around the circle. The umpires getting together and now saying something to the Texas dugout as Gilbert is still at the plate.
I'm assuming.
So they're calling it a 2-1 count, so an illegal pitch apparently on Oakes, and that is a huge turnaround. Gilbert gets another opportunity. So nobody out. Here's the pitch from Oakes. Just missed away, now 3-1. Not sure what happened there. Not a whole lot of argument from the FGCU side. But Gilbert given second life here in the top of the 7th. Got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up next. The pitch from Oakes is popped foul towards the Eagles dugout. That's going to get out of play. Strike 2. Now, Oakes is an experienced Division I pitcher. Big reason why she's in this spot. Tossed 62 innings last year for Radford. A 3.46 ERA, but maybe the best number for Oakes, only 8 walks in 62 innings. They need her to throw strikes. And is trying to battle back from a 3-1 hole against Gilbert. The payoff pitch is fouled back again. FGCU did defeat one ranked team last season. That was a 3-2 win against UCF. That was also on opening weekend. UCF was ranked number 21 at the time. Obviously, Texas much higher at number 10. 3-2 is fouled back. That might have been ball 4, but Gilbert gives it a pass and fouls it back. This will be pitch number 8, with Parker getting a nice long look at the reliever Oakes. It's got to be part of the thinking here for Coach DeRose, just to give Texas a different look on their 4th trip through the batting order. Another 3-2. And it's lifted out to left center. Batterton and Villancos come together, and Batterton makes the catch. So after all that, Gilbert is retired after all, and there's one down. The last time FGCU beat a top 10 team was in 2012. A number 6 Florida in the NCAA tournament. FGCU beat them 2-1. Here is Parker with one out and nobody on. And a swing and a miss, strike one. Well, we mentioned it earlier, Coach DeRose has been the only coach to ever lead FGCU softball. And he has done it to the tune of a .650 winning percentage. That one misses away 1-1. He is regularly at the top of the A-Sun. But these opportunities against ranked teams do not come around very often, especially on your home field. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off, Parker a little bit late, and it's 1-2. Texas got a really nice win earlier today, 4-0 over Clemson. But this would basically negate it. These two teams will meet again tomorrow. Here's the 1-2 from Oaks. Lifted down the left field line, hooking away from Batterton. That'll land foul on the warning track in the left field corner. Iacopo will bat next, and then Whitaker if anybody reaches for the Longhorns. Early in the season, there is more than enough time for Texas to make up for a potential stumble here, but I mean for FGCU, this would be huge. The 1-2. Foul back again. Parker barely getting a piece on that pitch. Neck high from Oaks. Infield and outfield about as deep as they can get, with 4 new players at their respective positions in this inning. That one's driven out to left. Batterton is there, and it's right to her for out number 2. A couple of F7s here in the 7th, and Texas is down to their final out. That ball was hit well, but fortunately for FGCU, right at Batterton, who has answered the call time and time again defensively in this game for FGCU. So the last chance for Texas is the designated player, Mary Iacopo. And Iacopo watches one low for ball 1. Oaks started game 2 last night against Clemson and took the loss. Bidding for a save in her second outing as an Eagle. The 1-0 pitch is fouled back, strike 1. Emily Estroff went 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. Was really struggling early, particularly in the first inning, but was able to get out of a jam in the first, a jam in the second, and the 5th, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Iacopo waves and comes up empty, and Texas now down to their last strike. Coach DeRose making the decision to turn it over to Riley Oaks. It was retired the first 2 and is ahead on Iacopo. The 1-2 is outside, 2-2. Estroff and Davenport were leaping out of their positions after that pitch, hoping to see Darryl Sanders raise his right arm. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the 7th, Eagles lead by 2. Oaks comes home, and it's slashed out to right field. Hayes is there, and for the first time in 10 years, FGCU has taken down a top 10 team. The Eagles topple Texas and get to 2-1 on opening weekend. Your final score in 7, FGCU 6 and Texas 4. For the second straight year, FGCU beats a ranked opponent on their home field on opening weekend. This one much more significant. They play